Do you mind telling me what this is all about?
Oh, Julia, come on. Not the silent treatment, please.
You know, it never ceases to amaze me how someone with a brain like yours can be so clueless sometimes.
So give me a clue.
Dr. Adamson.
Reg Adamson, good bloke. I spoke to him today, actually.
Yes, I know you did. So did I.
Excellent, so he would have explained the strategy report.
Well...
It seems to me a very good idea to share information with other practices, and vice versa, don't you think?
You could have asked me first.
Asked you what?
Whether I minded writing the report.
Julia, you are the practice manager.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
Exactly, that's the problem, isn't it? You just assumed that I wouldn't mind writing it. You know, you could at least have asked me first, then it would have been my decision. It's just a question of respect, Mac, OK? It's as simple as that. I haven't got time to write a postcard, let alone a report. Now, does that clarify the situation for you? Good night.
Julia? Julia!
I keep seeing him. I call out to him, and he doesn't hear.
Oh, sorry.
I catch up with him, he turns to me, but it's not him.
It's very rare, but grief can bring on episodes like this.
I never said goodbye to David. That last morning when he left for the climb, it's always bothered me, always. I suppose no one could have known what was going to happen.
No. A brain aneurysm can lay dormant for decades and then suddenly...
I didn't appreciate him enough until he wasn't there anymore.
Yes, well, that's often the case. I'm sure you don't want to hear this, but I think that from now on, you really should concentrate on the future.
I don't want to forget him.
No, but you do need to move on with your life, don't you?
Saying that kind of thing's no help to me.
Which is why I recommended counselling.
I don't want to talk to a stranger. I want to speak to you, someone David admired and respected.
I really do appreciate that, Emily. But the way things are, I need to pass you on to a specialist.
Well, I'm not a package to be passed on from one person to another.
No, of course not. But I'm absolutely convinced that counselling is the right choice.
David said you were the best there is. For once, he was wrong. Clearly, you're just too busy.
No, wait, I'm sorry.
It's all right, Dr. Maguire. We agree about one thing. We're both wasting our time.
That's what I like to see, customers banging down the doors. Can I help?
Are you the owner?
Yes, well, one of them. I'm Maya.
Maya?
Yes, it's a weird one, isn't it? You can blame my mum.
No, I didn't mean... Sorry, I thought this was a residential address.
Yeah, confusing, isn't it? The shop's 12A, the flat above's 12B. My business partner lives there, Emily. You wanting her for something?
Well,
She's not in till later.
yeah, I might pop back in a while.
You look lost.
What? Oh, right. Let's see.
How about Imperial Blue Mountain, rich dark coffee with hints of chocolate and spice. How's that grab you?
Why not?
And what about your literary taste buds?
What do you mean?
We'll let you in on a secret.
Also bookshop.
Actually, I just want to sit by the window.
Wise man. Poetry section's over there. The bonus is you can watch the world go by.
Suits me.
What do you think? Had it done last night. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Too low key. You're right. I should have gone for carnal red. Oh, well, there's always next time. Okay, what's happened?
I had a run-in with my doctor.
I thought you were best pals. You spend enough time there.
Yeah, not anymore. He's not what I need. He's just looking for a quick fix.
And Mr. Fix-It, I know the type.
Maybe I need a female doctor. Someone my own age who's got time to listen. What do you think?
Female, around 40, top-class listener. Why bother with a doctor? You've got me.
No, I'm serious. I wanted to talk about David, and he just wanted me to focus on the future.
Well, to be fair, you have been using him as a psychotherapist on the side.
Oh, back me up on this, why don't you?
Hey, I'm your biggest fan, Em. But you have to admit, you're letting life pass you by. Which is why you should never look a gift horse in the mouth.
Is that another?
Yeah, another one. Hand-delivered. Same handwriting as yesterday's.
Look, he's bound to be some crank.
No, he's just the shy, romantic type. And I thought you went for both those things in a man. So go on, don't beat about the bush, open it.
No, not right now.
Where'd you get to this morning?
I needed an early start.
Oh, yeah, of course. You making any headway?
Does it look like it?
Want any help?
I can manage, Mac. I am the practice manager, remember?
She's under a lot of pressure.
So are you, by the looks of things.
Really? She's the second person to storm out on me this morning.
The second, so you're on a hat trick. Who was the first?
Emily Amiel. Patient. Husband died a few years back. Brain aneurysm. I used to play golf with him from time to time. She's still having a pretty bad time with all that.
Did you give him counselling a go?
I don't think I haven't suggested it, but she's not interested. Only wants to talk to me.
Well, maybe she sees you as an important link somehow.
Yeah, that's sort of what she said.
I guess you'll just have to give her your full attention. And Julia, of course.
Oh.
Let's have a peek.
Maya?
Any likely candidates?
How would I know?
Well, let's see. There's the postman. Obvious choice. Except he's always rude to you. Hey, there's the man we buy our incense from. I hope it's not him. He's got a personal hygiene problem. Hey, no, it might well be the man in our yoga class. Except he's just gone on a retreat to a Tibetan monastery.
Yeah, Nepalese, actually.
So why read the card? This I couldn't care less attitude isn't you, not the real you.
What's that supposed to mean?
I miss the old Em, her sparkle, her curiosity.
What of the old M's history?
Not if I can help it. Hang on, I'll be back in a minute.
Where are you going?
Couldn't find anything.
Oh, right. No, unfortunately, I'm a bit preoccupied.
Well, there's always time for a good book.
I'd like to, but...
Just behind you, third shelf down, Coleridge. Start with Frost at Midnight.
I've got some important matters that I'm trying to...
There's always time for Coleridge.
Actually, there isn't. Is she a customer of yours?
Practically lives here. Why?
Do you know the name of the woman she works with?
Emily. I've always loved that name.
Emily Amiel.
Yeah. Why? Do you know her or something?
We have a connection. Of a kind.
There you go.
He is just gorgeous.
Who?
Your secret admirer, that's who. As we speak, he's sitting in the window of Xanadu, polishing off another sonnet.
How do you know it's him?
Bumped into him outside the shop this morning.
So?
So, when he'd gone, I found your card on the mat.
Well, it doesn't mean it was him.
Look, we spoke. He said something about looking for a residential address, but he was looking for you, I'm sure of it. I tell you something, when he turned to face me,
What?
it was a real Thornbird's moment.
Well, Richard Chamberlain never did it for me.
That is such a lie. Remember the time I caught you watching Thornbirds, The Missing Years?
Look, you go ask him out if you're so keen.
No. This morning he took one look at this hair and ran for his life.
Well, if he's that shallow, we're well rid of him.
It's not shallow, just shy. Look, I badly need a caffeine fix. And it's your turn to go. So, stop messing about and get yourself over there.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
Because you're one wild and crazy woman. And don't forget to get his name. Right.
Is something wrong?
You said you didn't know her.
Who?
Who do you think? Emily. How you doing with the novel?
I finished it last night.
You did?
Yeah, I was really in the mood for it. Now, each line was so tender and insightful.
I knew you'd love it. You see, you and I are on the same wavelength when it comes to books, I mean. There we go.
Thank you.
Emily.
Oh, God. Oh.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's my fault.
Let me in.
No, I've got it. Thank you.
There's someone you're,
Yes, no, it's all over the floor, too.
But I'll see to that.
I'm sorry.
Here, let me help.
It's best you left.
Pardon?
I said it's best you left.
I'm more than happy to help you clear up.
Well, I'm not. I want you to leave. There's a 2-hour rule.
And what rule is that?
If you haven't bought food or a book within 2 hours of occupying a table, you have to vacate it.
I don't see it written up anywhere.
It isn't. I just introduced it.
I said I'm sorry. I don't know what more I can say.
Well, where's the coffee?
Here, and here, and all over here. I don't want to talk about it.
Did you get his name?
No.
Honestly.
Why don't you understand? I'm not ready.
You're such a gorgeous-looking woman. Meanwhile, here am I, dyeing my hair every colour of the rainbow in the hope that some bloke will show some interest, and I still don't get a second glance. Hey, why get so upset?
Just today would have been...
What? Him?
It would have been our 10th wedding anniversary.
Oh, Em, I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
David always wanted to do something amazing for our 10th round-the-world trip, he said.
Oh, Em.
Dr. Maguire.
Just your doctor.
Yeah.
I'll take care of it.
No, it's okay. Can I help?
Just a word about this morning, actually. The appointment didn't turn out quite as I'd hoped.
I'd have to agree with you there.
I was rather impatient.
Not all doctors can be good listeners.
Well, that's no excuse. I apologize.
Apology accepted.
And there is something else, if you've got a moment.
Em,
Maybe you could call the surgery and book another appointment?
Yes, that would be fine, Dr. Maguire. Mike, could you take over? I'm just going to go upstairs and change my trousers.
Emily, might just...
Look, it's about what happened in the cafe.
No, it's got nothing to do with that.
I'm not interested.
Sorry?
You know what I mean.
Is this man bothering you?
No, let's just leave it.
Are you Emily's GP?
I can't discuss that. Look, I would appreciate it if you just listen to Mrs. Amiel and then leave her in peace.
Try not to take it personally.
That was her GP, wasn't it?
Well, I shouldn't say, but yes, he is. I'm Maya, by the way, Maya Springer. I knew we met earlier, but I didn't get your name.
Richard, listen, can you give this to Emily for me, please? My mobile number's inside. It's vital that I speak to her as soon as possible.
I'll give it to her the moment she gets back.
Thank you. Doctor,
Not you again.
I'm afraid so.
What exactly do you want?
It's quite a delicate subject.
Go on.
I wanted to ask you about a man that may have been a patient of yours.
I'm sorry, I can't discuss that kind of thing with
His
you.
name was David Amiel.
Okay, I know you don't want to hear this, but the gorgeous posh bloke left it.
But I told you.
I know, you're not interested, but I promise you I have nothing to do with it. He said it was really important. So I'll leave it here. You can read it in your own time. He's called Richard, by the way, just so you know.
Thanks.
Illumination's gonna help. It's for you.
Hello?
Emily, it's Dr. Maguire. I know we talked about you making another appointment, but something's come up. Can you get over to the surgery straight away?
But why?
Well, I can't discuss the details, but I promise you it's nothing to worry about.
I don't understand.
It's best if you come to the surgery now, please. I'm glad you could make it.
You called me in to see him. Since when did your surgery become a dating agency?
What do you mean?
Oh, he didn't mention that part, did he? No, I didn't think so. He's been sending me unwanted love notes.
What?
I think you're confusing Mr. Wade Smith with someone else.
What makes you so sure?
I'd never set foot in Lethbridge in my life until this morning.
So who are you?
I know your husband, in a manner of speaking.
Were you a work colleague?
No, we never actually met. But he saved my life.
What?
I had a heart transplant. Your husband's generosity saved my life. I came to say thank you. I hope it was the right thing to do.
How did you find me?
You wanted the transplant recipients to know something about your husband. As you requested, the transplant coordinator passed on those details. A few vital facts, no names, of course, but it was enough for me to start my own research. It wasn't all that difficult.
I always dreamed of meeting you. I was just scared of it ever happening.
Why?
I didn't want to be disappointed. I needed to like you. Silly, isn't it?
It's not silly at all.
You see, if you have David's heart, then he's still alive. I'm sorry, that must make you feel strange, awkward.
I feel close to David. Very close. some of the things you mentioned in your letter about the things he enjoyed doing? After the transplant, I felt some of those things too, as if I don't know, as if I'd changed. Is that possible?
Several such cases have been documented.
In what ways have you changed?
Well, for one, I enjoy traveling to obscure places. Nepal, Sumatra. I never had any desire for it before, and now I'm even planning a round-the-world trip.
That sounds very much like David.
Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Yes, one thing. This is going to sound bizarre, but I'd like...
What?
I'd like to listen to your heart. I need to hear his heart again, just one more time.
If it will help.
You sure you don't mind?
No, whatever you want.
Can you recognize the sound of people's heartbeats, Dr. Maguire?
It's not supposed to be possible.
You mean you recognize the heartbeat?
Yeah, it's his heart. It's definitely his heart. I could listen to it forever.
Emily, this might be a good time to finally say goodbye.
It's me. Where are you? We need to talk. Please call me as soon as you get this.
I can't tell you how much meeting him helped me. Thank you.
David's aneurysm, it could have happened at any time.
I know. He promised for years to take his nephew climbing that day as an 18th birthday present, and David wasn't the sort of person to break a promise. I need to move on now. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. Em threw it in the bin. She thought it was a letter from...
From her secret admirer, I know.
You do?
Yeah. It was me that she came to see at the surgery.
Was Em okay, you know, when you told her?
Yes. Yeah, I think it helped her. It helped me.
So why are you here?
I just wanted to stop by and say goodbye.
That's really nice of you, thanks. Well, have a safe journey.
Thank you. I thought I might get a bite to eat before I set off.
Oh, there are some great places around here. There's a really good pizza place just up the hill.
How about you joining me? Coming with me? I mean, joining me for lunch.
What?
And I mean, I understand if you can't. So.
Oh, no. Yes, I'd like that.
Really?
Very much.
Sylvester? Sylvester? It was you, wasn't it?
What?
It was you who wrote the cards.
Look,
I know it was you, Sylvester.
How?
Because it all makes sense. Because of the connection that we have when we talk, the way you listen.
That's how I should have left it. Chats about books in the morning. Instead, I imagine... It's fine, I understand. You're not interested.
Look, some things I've just not been able to think about for a very long time.
What things?
I've always enjoyed talking with you, Sylvester. I didn't just think it might be you who wrote the cards. I hoped it might be.
What about that other bloke? One that's been hanging around here all day?
Richard.
Isn't he? I mean...
Richard... Richard belongs to my past.
You're very kind, and found that mirror with its face to the wall.
Where have you been?
At the mill?
Well, you could have called me.
I was working. On this.
Is that the report?
Yeah, just finished it. I'm sorry if I gave you any more stress.
Oh, Mac. Well, I never thought I'd be pleased to have a husband who brought his work to bed with him. Thank you.
What are you watching?
Oh, just some old black and white film. I don't know what it's called. Do you fancy watching it with me?
Oh, budge up.
It's got a great ending. The heroine falls madly in love at the end, and she never thought that she would. Gets me every time.
Sorry.
Yeah, me too.
Excuse me.
What are you doing?
Just listening.
Faith opens the lines of communication next on BBC1. Our second visit to doctors coming right up.